I think most people would agree that 2020 has been a fairly disrupted year. We started off with the bushfires, and in certain parts of the country there was flooding, and then of course the world pandemic, the plague we know as COVID-19. And that's been pretty hard for a lot of people. There's been a lot of loss of opportunity to do the things we love doing, loss of time with people we care about. Some people have even experienced a loss of identity as their work and their life has moved more towards solitude than engagement with others. It's been a costly time, a very challenging time. Been loss of income and all sorts of things. So when we come to this Advent season and we read again the Hebrew prophet Isaiah's poetic prophecies, it's good to be able to receive the message he offers us when he says to the people of Israel, comfort my people. And it might help to know that the people that Isaiah was saying that to had also had a pretty challenging time, not just for a year, but really for more than a generation. They had been under attack and then under siege by nations that really were much mightier than them, and they'd resisted all of that, famines and all sorts of things, until finally King Nebuchadnezzar and his forces defeated Jerusalem and took them into exile, and that was in Babylon. And then Isaiah comes to those who are in exile, in fact those who had never lived probably in the promised land. It was a whole generation later. And he says to them, it's all behind you now, that suffering. Now there is an opportunity to hope. And not just to hope for something that you can imagine, but to hope for something that is even greater than you could possibly imagine. Because most of the people that were listening had never been to the promised land. They'd been in exile their whole life. So he was speaking to them something that was going to be a glorious future that was kind of beyond their imagining at that stage. And I think it's really important as we turn the corner from 2020 into 2021, and albeit we have no idea what 2021 might hold for us, but I think we need to hear the words of comfort, that we might heal from our grieving and our loss, and that we might begin to hope again, to hope in something that is bigger than our current capacity to hope for. So we're going to look at that prophecy of Isaiah in Isaiah 40, first 11 verses, this Sunday at MustardSeed. You can join us in person at our little chapel at Quarry Green, and we're getting a good number of people along. We're still well within our COVID-safe 4 square metre rule boundaries, but if you want to come, please do. Download the Services New South Wales app on your smartphone to make it easier to sign in with the QR code, and we'll take your temperature and wash your hands with alcohol and seat you appropriately. Or if that sounds a bit too challenging, or for whatever reason you can't make it in person, you can still join us on Zoom Church. Or if you miss Zoom Church and you want to catch up later, we are on Facebook Live on our Facebook page, MustardSeed Sid, SYD. So please join us in those ways too. But if you are coming on this Sunday, you could bring along a marker to write a prayer or a thought for hope for the coming year. We're going to write on some wooden peace doves and then hang those in the tree in the green, and members of the community are going to join us to do that as well. People that aren't regulars at MustardSeed but want to join in that part with us, and we'll have a little liturgy out there too. Then if you've already booked in for making a gingerbread house or gingerbread tree, that's on as well after the service. And we also have the Christmas party, again, if you've booked in on Sunday evening. So lots happening. Love you to join us in any or all of those things, and we will see you soon. God bless. Stay faithful. Let's begin to hope. Amen.